Let's start this with a prayer. Dear Father, I thank you for this day and this opportunity to be used as a vessel to let your people know that you are available, able, and ready in the name of Yeshua from Nazareth. Let's cut this bread. It's like a slice. Matthew 6:22. Your eyes are like a window for your body. When they are good, you have all that you need. But when your eyes are bad, everything is dark. If the light inside you is dark, you surely are in the dark. Listen. Sometimes we always don't have 20/20 vision. And sometimes we need spectacles to help us focus on things better. Yesterday, I was driving, and I love like taking long drives with Yeshua because this is our time to chop it up in the car, and whatever I got on me, I could give it to him. So we'll just start because, I do Instacart. I quit my whole job as a phlebotomist, freelance writer, and blah, 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 whatever, right? So I'm doing Instacart, and I am like rushing out of the house. I, am thrown off in the morning yesterday. And I get to the store and I totally forget that I left my wallet at home. And I'm talking about with everything: driver's license, credit cards, debit cards, the Instacart card. And I try to go into the store and see if we can do Apple Pay or Google Pay. Doesn't work. So now I'm texting support care and talk to the lady, and she's like, "Oh, you know what? Don't worry about it. We're just gonna pay you for going up there anyway. We just won't add the tip on." So it was $30 to take a drive. And I tell you that because it's like sometimes all people think about is money, right? Or how they're gonna make it, or what's gonna happen, or whatever it's gonna be. But like when I wake up in the morning, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I don't think I've ever had an idea of what I was gonna do. I've never been one of these people who is like super prepared for life. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, my goals are different from people's, right? Whatever. But she worked out the situation, and when I hung up the phone, I was like, thanks, God. And he was like, it's not how you see it, but it's how you see me doing it. And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, how pressed would you have been if you would have drove all the way this way, then you would have drove all the way that way, and then you drove all the way that way, and it didn't work out when you got there? I was like, you're right, God. And I tried to do this yesterday. This was my message for yesterday, but it wasn't working. And then my sister popped up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So, it was whatever. So we're driving, and I just start thanking him, and he starts reminding me, but I went to the Message Bible, and it was like, your eyes are windows into your body. If you open your eyes wide in wonder and belief, your body fills up with light. To see God in the situations and to see what he's giving me, because you don't understand, like, it's the little quirks that have to be worked out. So I would have been highly upset had I drove up there and I wouldn't have got paid, right? Because it's like, gas is a cost, time is a cost, not being organized is a cost. And it would make me feel some type of way, like, oh. And God is like, look at that. It's the small things. Are you receptive to what I'm doing and what I'm trying to teach you? Are your eyes open? Like, okay, God, I'm ready to see everything that you got for me. Or are you going to be like, oh my gosh, all I wanted to do was make money and blah, 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 blah. We don't think about those things. Or realizing that he just paid me $30 to take a drive with him so he could talk to me. Like when he's making a way, he's made the way already. And, you know, we continue our drive and he just starts telling me how you gotta want what I have for you. And Yeshua is the one to lay it all down. Like, look, this is how we gonna do it. There ain't no other way. It's total and complete dependence on God in every situation. And God likes to show me situations with money because I'm really bad at like money. Like I got a problem with spending before I get it. And you know, I always get it. I always get it. So being with him and him being like, you have to be receptive to what I'm teaching you and accept this as truth, no matter what. It's not you getting some money, you putting it in a bank account so you could buy something and shop later. No, store your treasures in a place where they're not gonna rust. Like, let your life goal be, how can I get more people to have a conversation with God? I see him working in my life. My eyes are open. And I remember being in darkness. I remember being in states of depression that lasted for months, well, years. First it went to years, then it went to months, then it went to weeks, then it went to days. Now it's at minutes. Which brings me into another story. I'm driving and there is this cylinder that's on the road that's super big. It's taking up traffic, 4 or 5 lanes, blah, 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 blah. They're stopping, whatever. And I'm in my lane, and this dude that has a trailer, like his car's right here, my car's right here, but his trailer's back here, was literally gonna come like right into me. Now, I got this weird thing with car accidents, and you know, I feel some type of way. So I fall back and I let him go, and I'm like, what the? And I had this tightness in my chest, and I had this nigga tried to kill me. But then I was like, I should have just let him hit me. I mean, it wouldn't have been super bad, but like in the 5 minutes that this is going on, and I'm ruminating over the fact that he literally almost just ran me off the road, caused me to have a panic attack, blah, blah, blah. Like all these things would have surged. Yeshua was like, look at the clock. So I look at the clock. He said, count how long it's going to take you to stop feeling this way. I look over like, whoa. And my shift has to be back to God. Because I am an imperfect person. And I used to live my life off of my emotions and how I felt, and that's purely how it went, and that's not rational. So now what are the facts? Facts were, guy's probably gonna go a different way, and I'm gonna end up turning somewhere down the road, and I'm not gonna think about him for the rest of my day. Another fact is the enemy will use anything to pull you from the presence of God. And this is what you got to be super focused on, Yeshua. And your motives have to be pure. If you don't let the light in, how do you have that inside of you? So me trying to drive with a grudge or being like blah, 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 it took me 5 minutes. I probably would have held on to that a couple of years ago for like a minute and been like, let me tell you this story. It says in the word, where did I do it? But when your eyes are bad, everything is dark, and the light inside you is dark. The light inside you is dark. You surely are in the dark. Being in that dark spot, like it's like I remember what it's like to sit in something and just be like, like I can't believe all I'm trying to do is this. Reading about the little crumbs that I'm snatching, because $30 is crumbs. and being upset and having this anger and this rage and this unfairness ruminate inside of me. Or taking the lesson and Yeshua being like, there's really some things that you need to work on, because when you look like me, you ain't supposed to have none of that in you. You got to be quick to forgive. So I need to walk around in my life like, God, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? I mean, my eyes are not that big, but like, always waiting for him to fill me with this light so I can see him working. I can see him working in my life. I can see him working out the things that don't need to be in me, because when we're driving, he's Tanya, just let it go. Just let all of it go. You don't have to be on 10. You don't have to pop off. You don't have to be uber tough for anybody no more. That's the way the world did it, but the way that I'm showing you to do it, because that world is filled with darkness. You're not growing. You're not flourishing. You're not coming to the promises that I've set out for you. Like, look, I already told you. I got plans for you. But if you want to drag your feet and you want to be like, oh, so-and-so did this and this and this and this, you're missing the forest for the trees. Let my son teach you how to be at peace at all times, to stay where my presence is. And I could never see that if I didn't have Yeshua next to me breaking it down for me. Like, look, man, all these things are going to come up. It's always going to be something. Just fall back. Fall back and let it go. Because you can see that they're pressed, because you used to be pressed, so you know what being pressed looks like. My job, right? My job, and I'm so thankful that God has given me this job, and I take it really serious, is to do this, is to inform people that having a conversation with God, hollering at him, is probably the best move you could ever make in your life. Because when this is wraps, where do you think you're going to be? There's nothing that you can hoard down here that will fill your insides with light and remove the darkness. He is the only way. And that's the truth. And this is that life. Have a personal relationship with him so he can declutter all of that dark, damp, moldy, musty stuff that you got going on inside you. I don't care about making money. I know I gotta spend it to, you know what I'm saying, to get it. I mean, I gotta get it to spend it. But God don't have me in a position where I want or what I need, because this is what I really want. Like, coming before him and my heart being pure when he examines me, and knowing that I am one of those kids that's like, what are we doing next, God? Where are we going? What's happening? Are we there yet? I ain't got no problem with it. I hope these videos encourage you, wherever you are, to look at things differently. Because ain't no need for all the rah, 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 or I'm like, but if your eyes, the eye is the lamp of the body. What you take in is going to light your path. So if you have the light of the world inside you, you ain't stumbling, you ain't tripping, you ain't falling, you ain't being fazed by nothing. But if you got that darkness, you're going to walk around heated and pressed for absolutely no reason, with no real joy in your life, faking it till you make it, but guess what? You ain't never going to make it. That's on you. Holla at God.